What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another full self-driving supervised video, but maybe not supervised for long. We're on a big patch of ice. I don't know if you can tell. The whole car went sideways. I'm surprised it's even handling this here. And we just got an update to 13.2.6. We have had so many updates lately. I'm having trouble keeping track because, I mean, that's like I believe our third update in a week, something like that, right around 1 week. 3 separate updates. And it's a point release. There still appears nothing new in the release notes, but Tesla's gearing up for something, it seems like. On the earnings call, we heard that unsupervised rides are going to start being given in Austin and in Texas and California in June is what they're aiming for. I mean, even if Tesla's late, as they usually are, that's an impressive goal. I mean, that would make me guess we're going to be seeing that stuff this year is when we see that stuff, which is crazy. So we're going out here to test out this update and do a few things. So first off, I have to go to the post office. So like this first part of the drive is just a normal A to B drive. And on the earnings call, Elon Musk was saying like, look, pay attention to the amount of times you actually have to intervene because of, you know, basically like an imminent collision. Not because you wanted to, not because, you know, it was too slow or, you know, whatever. A safety related thing. And I will, you know, kind of agree with him that those are extremely rare, but I don't think they're quite rare enough. But yes, I can do many drives where there's not even close to a safety related incident. And I think we'll probably see that today. I mean, it's so common to go through drives and have no safety related things. Now, the next part of that, you know, is you can't still really let the car do everything because it'll do wrong things that are not exactly safety related, maybe on the edge. So like one example is no right on red. And I totally agree, if there's no cars around and, you know, FSD wants to turn right on the red, like it's not that big of a deal. It's not like, oh my gosh, we're about to collide with something. At the same time, I don't want a ticket. So that's in my opinion, a necessary disengagement that you have to have because I don't want a ticket for doing that, you know? And then like I've had this version 13.2. whatever, turn kind of left onto a road and go onto the wrong side of the road. I know Chuck Cook, I think he showed that in a video. I wasn't recording at the time, but it actually was driving on the wrong side of the road and I let it go for a minute because no one was there. And again, it wasn't an imminent collision, but I wasn't going to leave it there. So I had to take over and move over. Outside of that, FSD has been amazing. Now, these roads right here are like almost pure ice. Parts of them anyway. So you can see it's raining. It's 37 degrees out. 36 degrees out. And so when you're right around freezing, it was obviously freezing during the night and it's just kind of warming up above freezing. You're getting ice patches here and there. Let me move this down to standard really quick and just let it kind of do its standard thing. It actually didn't have the profile there for a minute, which I was looking at. But yeah, we're going to do this drive A to B. Let's see if it can do my, you know, normal errands for me. And I do have the snow tires on too, just so you guys know. These are snow tires now. Look out, squirrel. Oh my goodness. Oh, FSD with the squirrel dodge. Pretty nice. And then we'll do a little bit of, you know, extra testing of trying out some more difficult like roundabouts and left turns and stuff like that. So yeah, let's get it. Let's see if FSD can handle this drive today with 0 safety critical interventions. And I'm going to, you know what, we're going to go for it on this one. We were kind of encouraged by Tesla, like, yo, this thing is safe. Just let it do its thing. Oh boy. Well, I might not be able to let it do its thing here. Holy moly. Let me slow this down. We won't count this as a disengagement or whatever. Oh yeah, see, I'm sliding 100%. I gotta take over here. Give me 1 second. So there, I think they live there. I mean, it didn't look like their truck was doing too good, but all right, let's let it do this part. This doesn't look icy. I didn't want to mess around. There was ice downhill leading up to that truck, so I didn't want to mess around there. We'll definitely count it as a disengagement, but, and then this, like these guys are probably like, why is he, yeah, he's telling me to go around. An FSD, there we go. So it is going around. It just drove right up to this truck first, which I get. You don't want to just, you know, I'm complaining about it driving on the wrong side of the road, so I'll be happy that it didn't drive on the wrong side of the road. Super tight, but really nice job here. Really nice job here getting through that tight spot. And the speed is more than appropriate. I think that is very good when the spot is that tight, especially we got this ice and stuff going on. But as I was kind of talking about before, you can see FSD doesn't really slow down acceleration or deceleration or anything. We were not in hurry mode for these slippery conditions. So let's see if it can now do the rest of this drive. I mean, to be fair, I'm not really faulting it for the icy part. That was out of an abundance of caution. But outside of that, the rest of the road should be pretty good. All right, so we got our first left turn here, make a complete stop. There's not a whole lot of traffic, so it should be fine, but it is kind of hard to see to the right. Sorry, no roof cam when it's raining. It gets covered in rain immediately and you can't see anyway, so. But yeah, beautiful job. Felt great, really nice and cautious. And I will say, let me pop up the cameras real quick. They look pretty good. They were clean before the drive. The back camera, it looks like it's getting a little covered, which is normal. The repeaters look okay for now, so we'll keep an eye on that too. All right, so we can see here we passed two now 35 mile per hour speed signs. We're still going 44. I'm not sure where my cap would be at. I'm gonna check really quick. So yeah, my cap is right at 47. I'm surprised the cap is that high. I have a 15% offset. And this is kind of the typical thing we've seen, that it's one of those things I don't think is gonna get fixed till version either 13.3 or version 14, where the FSD just doesn't seem to like to change its speed for new speed zones. It usually will eventually, but even going from, say, like a 25 to a 45, it'll just kind of hang out at that lower speed for a while. And going from, you know, a 45 to a 35, as you just saw, it'll just hang out at that higher speed for a while until you get something like this that forces it to slow down. Then it will kind of use that new speed. So we just passed that 25 mile per hour sign on the right. It didn't see it. It's a hard one to see because it's like right as you turn onto the street. But then this street changes back to 35. So it doesn't, okay, it did change to 25. So here's a 35. And let's see, and it still says 25. So those signs that are right at the beginning of streets, it looks like it's hard for the car to pick those up. And again, like, people can, you know, if we're talking like robo-taxis, practicality, that's, in my opinion, I mean, you guys are killing me on every video, so I mean, whatever. I'm just gonna keep being honest with you and telling you my opinion. That's something that's not a big deal. You could kind of like, who cares if, you know, a robot car that's always looking in all directions and is super safe for pedestrians is going like 5 over. I don't think that's a big deal, or 5 under or something. But it's just showing something where the car's not picking it up. Now look, it picked up this 35 mile per hour speed sign fine. So we have some consistency there, and when there's a speed sign right at the beginning of the road, it's not picking it up. You know, is that something that would stop approval and launch of a robo-taxi? Probably not. You know, especially in a predetermined geofenced area. So funny we're talking about that. It's not HD maps, but it would be, you know, an approved small area it could, you know, would be allowed to operate in. Three-way stop here. We'll see how we interact with everybody else. Shouldn't be a problem at all. We'll scooch up to our stop line here. A little back, but like whatever. And then, wow, we start rolling as soon as he's already doing his turn, which is exactly what you want. Really nice. I noticed on a stop sign back there too, I fast forwarded through. The stop and go was really nice. Okay, so here's our first stop. Let's see, the map doesn't look good, and I'm gonna tell you why. And I'm gonna tell you a little story. So it's going to, let's see. Oh, it fixed it, holy moly. So every time I've come to this post office, it has turned left into the post office. These post offices are, some of them are one way, and it kept turning left into the one way. I'm not saying it's reading signs or anything, but that is something that I was kind of experimenting. I didn't want to put it in a video. I didn't want to publicly talk about it to see if it would get fixed without me mentioning it, and it looks like it did. So let's see if it'll park us here nicely. Again, that's still a feature that's like coming soon. But it usually will try to park you. Oh, interesting. It didn't park us this time. All right, let me run these packages in, and then we'll continue the drive. This video is brought to you by Joa, maker of premium Tesla and vehicle accessories. Claim your discount by using the link in the description below. Alrighty, I put together a little course for us to go through here. We're gonna go for a roundabout and some other stuff. I don't know. I just made it go through downtown a bunch, so we should get some left turns in there and stuff. To try this out. So started from Park, absolutely love that. Cannot wait for that to come to the Cybertruck. It works so well. It makes the experience so cool. And I want to talk for a second about kind of, I don't know. So from the beginning of FSD, you know, I've been doing these videos for what, whenever FSD came out, 5 years almost, a little more than 4 years ago. And I've always been like, I make these videos, I don't edit stuff out to kind of show you what's really happening at the time. And I've always kind of gotten a lot of crap for being positive about FSD because it's something I'm really excited about and I enjoy. But, you know, it made a lot of mistakes, especially in the beginning, a ton of mistakes, and still can make them, but they're a lot more rare today. I mean, go back and watch those early videos. It was craziness. Now you can actually get through several drives without having to do anything, which is sweet. And I think I've kind of stayed in the like, here's where it is, realistic but hopeful camp. And I think a lot of people are more getting into like a really optimistic place of this is it, this is happening. And I do think it's going to happen eventually. I don't want to get too much into it because I've been talking about it a lot in the past few videos. I'm still skeptical on like the exact hardware setup, and full disclaimer, I did clean the cameras off at that stop, which is after I do the dirt roads, I pretty much always clean the cameras off. So yeah, I don't know. Hardware side, I think the software is definitely like there or getting there to like being able to do everything safely. But there's just so many certain scenarios that I think it's really hard. Now, where I think it will work and like the main point and like the main use case is cities, downtown areas, really populated spots. You don't drive that fast and it's congested and it's a lot more complicated, but driving slower, the computer, it already thinks faster than us and sees more than us. It has more time to think about and process what to do and make the right decision in, you know, that craziness. When you're going 25 instead of 50 miles an hour, right? It's a lot more time to decide what you're going to do as you're approaching things. It's appropriate to kind of slow down or stop in those situations, whereas on like a big 50 mile per hour road or on the highway, you can't stop and think about it. You got to make decisions like instantly. So I think the downtown case is going to be pretty much there, and I'm very excited for it. Especially if they're doing, you know, kind of like Waymo, where it's geofenced, it's not HD maps, I get that, but it's geofenced to a certain area and they're supervising it remotely. You know, I think that things are looking pretty good. But we'll let it go around here. We're approaching first the roundabout, then we'll go back into the downtown part, and we'll see how it does around here. But Fenton's been really good for a while, and I'm liking the rain to mix it up a little bit. The wipers are working really well. That's always something to think about too. So let's see how it does down here. So not really getting in the right lane here. It's a weird right lane because it's solid for a really long time. You're supposed to get in it back there, but not too big of a deal to me. See how it does with these train tracks. Sometimes it slows down, sometimes it doesn't. So nope, speeding up. It's a fine speed. They're not bumpy, but you can't really know like every train track how bumpy it's going to be. And then we're going to edit this trip right here. See how we do with that. We should probably just do a full circle. We'll see what FSD decides to do. So I edited it a little late. Yeah, I want to do the full circle. I'm going to take over here because I don't want to go that far. That is way too, it wants to go super far out of the way, and I want to do the roundabout again. So I'm going to put it in this parking lot and then let it do its thing. So obviously that doesn't count as a disengagement because the car could definitely have done what it was doing. We'll leave it there. You're back in hurry. Put you in standard. I don't know what we're waiting for here. I'll give it a second, but I'm not sure. I'm going to give it a tap. Yeah, there you go. It just wasn't sure what it wanted to do there. So it'll have to get out of this parking lot. There you go. It sees sees the parking lot exit. It's kind of like a human. You're like, well, how do I get out of here? Oh, there it is. Let me get out and then follow the map, right? Because the map data didn't tell it to do that. Map data said, you're on the road. Just drive. And this should be good. So this roundabout, this is like the first roundabout we ever did. And all the way back then, the car tried to drive straight through it. Straight through it, which was pretty funny. And that's when it's, oh, this will never work. Look how it messed that up. I'm sorry, that is not how it works. It improves over time. It's okay. The only time it's not allowed to mess things up anymore is once they finally get it rolled out. But again, I've said it a million times. It's not going to be mistake-free, ever. Things will happen that are just, you know, a huge crack in the road, a sinkhole pops up, a bridge falls apart. I mean, you just can't, even humans cannot handle every scenario, right? There's like a reasonable expectation. There's a nice slowdown for the train tracks. That felt pretty good. All right, I don't know what this is about. I'm not going to take over, though, because that's what I was told. Look at it, it is correcting itself. Is it going to go in reverse here? There is a curb. No, it parked us here. Okay. That's not exactly correct. I mean, it is at the destination, so I can't really fault it for that. Like, oh, I should have put it into drive. What was I thinking? Sorry. I'm just so used to not to having to do that. It did park us at the destination, so I guess I can't really fault it for that. But that is not an appropriate place to park. Oh, there's that new electric, whatever that thing is, charger. Interesting. I didn't hear it. They have the sounds turned off. But yeah, really nice. I mean, unprotected lefts, and there was, a left turn at the stop sign just then and everything. And it's getting us around here really safely, of course, but also really comfortably. All the accelerations and decelerations and stops and going from a stop is all feeling really good. Like, we're not hanging out too long at red lights or behind other stopped cars or anything. This speed right now through the, more downtown part feels pretty good. So I have a few more destinations in here. I was going to try to let it park at least the last one or one of the last ones. But yeah, I mean, overall it's doing really well. So we're going to move it in this left turn lane. I would have a little more urgency because I don't want to catch the red. Like, okay, it's a little slow, but okay. I mean, whatever, it's fine. I'm not complaining. Not complaining, just pointing that out. And here's our destination on the right here. Let's see what it does on this one. So there's one parking spot there. I don't think it's going to attempt it. Oh boy, it is. Whoa. Whoa. Yeah, it's going to... You do not have enough room. You did not make that turn correctly. Again, not exactly a supported feature, but I was told if it's not safety critical, I don't have to do anything. So I'm going to leave it here. We're going to see what the plan is. Object and path detected, take over to proceed. I mean, that's not safety critical. So I just look like a doofus. Object and path detected, take over to proceed. But you're still yeah, see, I'm not taking over. You're still doing something. All right, let's just continue. It's like, oh, geez, I messed that up. Let's just go right here. All right. That's so funny. Hey, you know what? It's not wrong. I didn't take over. All right. Here, start it up again from park. Boom, and we're off. That's sweet. I'll take it, man. I'll take it. So again, imagine there's no steering wheel, no pedals. You don't have a choice. It would have been awkward for a few seconds. I mean, even the Waymo ride I took did, at least one wrong thing, and it changed its route at the last second and kind of hit the brakes pretty hard. It wasn't safety critical. It was kind of weird, but humans do the same thing. So, but this is going to be better, I think we're at the point where this already is better than a lot of people. If you've taken like a lot of Lyfts or Ubers, you probably know that some of those drivers are awesome. They're amazing. They're so fast and precise, and they know where they're going. And then I've had drivers, oh my goodness, they just keep taking wrong turns, and you're watching the thing, and you're finally like, yo, can you please pay attention to the nav? You keep missing the turns. So I think FSD is already better than that, like worst case scenario. And even maybe the middle of the road drive a scenario. FSD may already be better than that. So unprotected here with nobody, and we just like the proceeding. The hesitations are feeling really good. Cybertruck still is like kind of slow and hesitates more and is a little bubbly. Yeah, the Y experience on FSD is just so much better. It almost makes me want to switch back to a Y from the Cybertruck, like no joke. If the refresh Model Y had Hardware 5, I probably would. But I'm probably going to wait for Hardware 5 to consider switching to that vehicle. All right, so I do want to do a route switch here after we pass this road. I'm going to go boom and add that in there. And I wanted to take this sharp left turn here, if it will get it in time. Nice. So we go there. This is one that it used to not really be able to do. I don't think it's that hard anymore, but it's still really like almost a full turnaround. It feels so good. It's crazy how good this thing is getting. It's really crazy. All right. So, wow, nice and slow for this bumpy road. That feels good. That's not something I can say I've seen consistently, at least, and maybe it's a fluke this time too, but holy moly. That was a good speed. All right, I'll come up on this stop sign, and then I don't know exactly how it's going to reroute us here. I think we're going to go take a, left up there, and I'm going to try to let it park at this last destination as well. So the park has been a little goofy. Again, it's not supported right now, but hopefully that's coming soon. We will see. I mean, the robotaxi is going to need... I guess the robotaxi, the way it's been parking, has been fine. You just hop out and then it would continue going, right? It can park on the side of the road for a second. So the, self-parking features and stuff are more for us, like using our personal vehicles. All right, so again, on that little leg there, nice job getting over here. I mean, it really is getting us A to B without too much craziness. I mean, we had the ice in the beginning, and then I had to hit the accelerator in that other parking lot because I just didn't want to go. But I don't know. I kind of mess with the route at the same time, so I don't really count those too much. I'm just curious if it's going to park here or what it's going to do. I just put the pin in the middle of this parking lot. We'll see if it picks a parking spot or just parks randomly. Sometimes it'll do a couple laps and then pick a spot. Yeah, so it looks like they might have taken out that where it'll, I don't know. It tried a parking spot earlier, but it's definitely not very consistent. All right, so we're going to head out of here. We'll let it keep driving, and I think that's about what I wanted to try out. We got to let it escape from this parking lot, which is going to be tough. I mean, not for a human, but I don't know if you can get out from the way it's going. I'm not sure, so let's see. Oh, looks like you can. There you go. FSD knows more than me. That's how it's going to continue to be. More and more so. Let's see. The road's over there. Wow, cool. I don't think I've ever parked in this parking lot, so there you go. Pretty cool. All right, let's do the stats of this drive, I guess. It did really well. I'm going to count the one disengagement for the ice because I just didn't trust that it was going to take that into account. And right before that, I had slid down a huge hill that I didn't put on video. I wasn't using FSD or anything because I knew the hill was 100% ice. And there was nothing. I mean, it was just like, the car was just sliding. There's absolutely nothing you could do. It's just the fact that nobody was there. I got to just slide down the hill and then take control of the bottom of it. Even with the winter tires on. They're not magic. They're better. And then I did the one accelerator press, but I'm not counting that because it was due to me rerouting, I believe. So you can add it into the data if you want, if you're keeping track at home. But overall, let's let it do this three-way stop, and we'll call it there. So 12, maybe 13 miles by the time this is done with one icy disengagement. So here's a little awkward. We got here about the same time, and she goes first. Nice. And we move as soon as we can to show this. We were here first. We know we were here before you. So don't even. All right, y'all. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you want to see. We'll do some more harder stress testing in the future. And you will see me in FSD in the next video.
So Autopilot and I are happily driving along. So Autopilot and I are happily driving along.